Hello, New Wave of British Heavy Metal.com here. Today it's the 15th of August 2024. Quick little favour, if I can ask that of you first before we get into it, and that's if you would please subscribe to the channel, because that's a big help and always appreciated. So if you would please click the little button. Today, Alex Lifeson and his one and only solo album, which was originally issued in 1996, entitled Victor. It's just had a reissue just a few days ago, and it's also been remastered by none other than Alex himself. So on hearing the news about this, it did prompt me to dig out my copy of the original issue from 1996, flipping out almost 30 years ago already, because I'd not listened to it for quite a while, and thought, well, it's about time I did now. And it's an interesting listen. I think we'll call it interesting. This is Alex, free of rush, free to do his own thing, and that's exactly what he does. Alex does what Alex wants, and that means we've got a rather interesting and varied listen, and perhaps it's not what you might be expecting. Sure, because this is Alex, there's plenty of guitar, no denying that. But there's quite a lot going on which may surprise you as a listener, and including, would you believe, a little bit of poetry recital. I kid you not. So what we got musically then? Well, it starts off with a trio of quite heavyish rockers. Really, we've got Don't Care. That's the big meaty churning riff. The song has a bit of a grungy, doomy feel to it as well, because remember, this was the mid-1990s and grunge was big back then, right? Promise, to me, this is a proper good one. Alex lets rip as he often does. There's a big melody going on there, big vocal, and this is a song that really bounces along with some purpose to it. Then we've got Start Today, which is a quite a powerful 3.5 minutes or so, which comes as close to a Rush song as you'll get here. Particularly the vocal. If you didn't know better, you'd swear it was Geddy Lee, but it's not. You'd figure we're listening to some long lost Rush song or a previously unreleased demo or something. It's excellent. What next? Mr. X, shortish instrumental that starts off with some ambient sounding keyboards, and then Alex goes on a wander, and it's quite good stuff. At the end is a bit of a weird one. Alex kind of like speaks the vocal with seemingly random elevator style music going on in the background. This one rambles on for about 6 minutes, and it's a bit of a stretch to listen to, I think. This one doesn't work for me, although I'd say it's Alex being a bit experimental. Back on form with Sending Out a Warning. Chunky, hard, heavy territory. And then we've got the unusual, quirky, but quite compelling Shut Up, Shutting Up. What a title, right? I think I'll call this not an instrumental, which I suppose it is. It's a talk-strumental. Now, I've just made that up as I'm going along now. It's Alex at his finest for the instrumental parts, all sorts of guitars going on. And then the talk part is quite a funny conversation mixed in with it between Alex's wife and two other women, where they let's say contrast and compare the shortcomings of their respective husbands. Right, you got to listen to it to believe it. This is an experimental bit that does work, by the way. Strip and Go Naked, and another instrumental on which Alex does what Alex does best. The big dance is a bit so-so. Then we've got the title track, Victor, which I say is a poetry recital, as Alex reads out the poem of the same name by the old W.H. Auden, accompanied by, in the background, all sorts of weird synths going on, and even some jazzy parts. It is, believe it or not, strangely compelling. And then it all shuts off with I Am the Spirit. Nice heavy close with some bite to that going on. So overall, it's not a bad listen. And so the experimental parts of it don't always work, and by that I mean at the end. And then this reissue, remaster, remix includes some revised artwork. What the graphic that you're seeing there isn't the original cover from 1996. It's more or less the same but different. Now, that's a bit of a contradiction, isn't it? And we've also got on this new version, in addition to that slightly revised artwork, 4 instrumental tracks, which, if I remember correctly, were only previously available on Alex's website. So that's Alex Lifeson's Victor. Fun listen, interesting, even though the experimental parts don't always work. Coincidentally, on Rush, Geddy Lee's Soul solo album, My Favourite Headache from 2000, has also been reissued at the same time as Victor. I've got the original of that, so I've not listened to that for a while either, so I'll dig that out and review that separately in a few days. But in the meantime, enjoy Alex Lifeson and Victor if you decide to do that. I'll put a link to it in the description below to Amazon's. There are different formats available as usual. So that's it for today. Please do subscribe before you go, because I say that'd be marvellous and a big help. And as always, thanks for watching, thanks for listening, and take care.